think we all saw this coming. Hey everyone, welcome to the review. Here's my review for the movie Ben-Hur. Yes, the 2016 version of the story of Ben-Hur. And if y'all want to know the story of Ben-Hur, because I'm not going to go into details about the story and the plot of Ben-Hur, because if you don't know the story of Ben-Hur, honestly, go watch the 1920s silent film of Ben-Hur, or go watch the 1959 version of Ben-Hur, directed by William Waller, starring Charlton Heston and Jack Hawkins. Watch those two movies, then come back to this review, because you'll probably agree with everything I'm about to say right here, because if you know the story of Ben-Hur, you've seen the great movies about Ben-Hur, you will know absolutely that this movie is absolute shit. This movie, Ben-Hur, is god-awful. Everything about this movie is terrible. There's maybe one good thing about it, but other than that, this movie is god-awful. This movie just shouldn't have been made. Why would you remake a classic, amazing story like Ben-Hur? Ben-Hur was done twice. The 1920s version was amazing, but the 1951 version was a masterpiece. It proved upon the original 20s version. So if you can't make it better than the 1959 version, why remake it at all? But this movie thought, hey, let's make it again and put crappy CGI, terrible editing, and get a director who clearly has no idea what he's doing. This director is, the director of this movie is, what's his name? Timur Bekmanbetov? Is that his name? I can't pronounce his name. He's directed 3 movies that I've seen. I think he's done a lot more, but I've seen 3 of his movies, and he's a mixed bag for me. He directed that animated movie, 9. That was a pretty good movie. I actually like that. That's a pretty underrated animated movie. Then he directed the movie Wanted, which was so-so, and then he directed Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which was absolute garbage. So this movie is going on all the praises of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and this movie is just as good as Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. If you like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, then this movie is 100% for you, because, oh my god, everything about this movie just, it's done so terribly, because if you've seen the 50s version, you can just watch this movie and be like, well, the 50s version it did better. Well, the 50s version did that, did it better. Oh, that's better in the 50s version, that's better in the 50s version. The whole time I was watching this movie, I just kept shaking my head, and I'm like, the 50s version did this already and did it better. Why am I watching this movie? Anyways, this movie stars Jack Huston, Toby Kebbell, and Morgan Freeman, a bunch of other cast members. I don't care to remember their names and stuff. And again, this basically is the story of Ben-Hur, but it's in a 2-hour length. Yes, do you remember the 1959 version? It was a 3.5-hour movie. This movie's condensed into 2 hours, and my god, you can tell they cut a lot of stuff out, and it just comes off choppy and horribly executed and stuff. This movie, just all those iconic scenes from the original Ben-Hur, they're all just ruined in this movie. Yeah, you remember that awesome boat scene? Yeah, this movie just has a bunch of CGI and really bad shaky cam. The shaky cam in this movie is just, it will make you almost want to vomit. It's so many quick cuts and shaky cam. I'm just like, oh my god, like, who shot this movie? Oh my god, I feel like I was having a seizure watching this movie. And then, of course, the iconic chariot racing scene. Again, the 50s version did it so brilliantly. This one was so mediocre. There's a couple of okay shots, but it's very underwhelming. It's poorly executed action scenes. Like, this director, he did some okay action sequences in the movie Wanted, but the action was very underwhelming in this movie, and just, this movie was a mess, and the editing for this movie was horribly done. Like, I thought Suicide Squad, great movie, but I thought that had some bad editing. The editing in this movie was just atrocious. The quick cuts and just the transitions, all horribly done. The execution of this movie is done terribly. The direction is horribly done, and the performances aren't really good. Morgan Freeman, again, looking stupid with the dreadlocks. He's just kind of there. He's basically there to be Morgan Freeman. Anyone could have played that role. Toby Kebbell, I like Toby Kebbell. I like him in lots of movies like The East and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He was the only good thing in Warcraft, but he wasn't very good in this movie. He was a very uninteresting, very bland villain, and again, a very iconic villain, and he just did a horrible job. The only person that actually was trying, was the lead character, Jack Huston. he actually was trying in the movie. Like, he is no Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston won his Academy Award for playing Judah Ben-Hur. He was not like that level of good, but he was trying. I felt like he did actually care about the role. Everyone else, not really, but he was trying and he put effort into it, and he did a good job. Yes, they even do the Jesus Christ scene, and oh my god. Again, the original did it way better. This movie just fucks it right up. And the ending to this movie, oh my god. I don't want to spoil the ending, but oh my god, it's awful. It is so atrocious. I won't spoil it, but you guys will be shaking your head and being like, done. I was almost like that. I just 5 minutes before the credits, I was like, okay, I'm done with this movie. No, I don't even want to see the end credits. No, I'm done. But I stayed because I have never once in my life walked out of a theater, and I wanted to at the end of this movie because the ending is so stupid and an insult to the original. And yeah, everything about this movie is an insult to the original. This movie shouldn't have been made. That's like, this movie is like remaking Casablanca or Gone with the Wind or Citizen Kane. You can't remake something that's already done perfectly. And Ben-Hur is not a perfect movie, it's just a perfect adaptation of that story. Like, you can't beat the 1959 version, so why remake it at all? It's so stupid. So yeah, this movie isn't good. The editing is terrible, the cinematography is terrible, the costumes look bland, the characters are very bland, the acting isn't particularly good, Jack Huston is the only one that's trying in this movie, nothing in this movie works, and again, the 50s version, the 20s version, all did it better, the action is underwhelming, the direction's terrible, the writing is terrible, everything about this movie is terrible, especially that stupid ending. I cannot possibly recommend this movie. Ben-Hur was terrible. I knew it when I did my trailer reaction that this movie would suck, and it was everything that I thought it would be. It was everything that I thought it would be. Yes, I did see some positive reviews when this movie first came out, and I'm glad that negativity's coming because there's not a lot of positives with this movie. This movie is terrible, and it shouldn't have been made, so yeah, I can't recommend it. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the movie Ben-Hur a 2 out of 10. Yes, a 2 out of 10. It gets the 1 point for Jack Huston. That is it. This movie sucks. So yeah, that was my review for the movie Ben-Hur. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me what is your favorite version of Ben-Hur. If it's not the 50s version, do you like the 20s version or that mini-series version? I don't care. What's your favorite version? I hope it's not this one, but what is your favorite version? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.